I'm excited to announce Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast has partnered with an Austin, Texas-based farm-to-table delivery company. Farmhouse Delivery is a dirt-to-doorstep service specializing in organic produce and organic meats. Their mission is to connect communities across Texas with their land, making local food more accessible. And Farmhouse Delivery is partnered with over 200 Texas farmers and ranchers. From meal kits to produce boxes, Farmhouse Delivery is also a great idea for get-togethers with family and friends. Check out this endorsement from a Farmhouse Delivery customer. I barely need to go to the grocery store anymore. Now, how do you get your first order from Farmhouse Delivery started? Well, visit their website, farmhousedelivery.com. Select your items and then finalize your cart list, and then enter the promo code MANCAVE for 20% off of your first order. Well, here we are going into the 10th week of the college football season, and things are not going well here in Austin, in case you haven't been watching or paying attention. It's been frustrating for everybody involved, and I'm sure for Steve Sarkisian, I think that's one thing that everybody really needs to just step back and realize there's a transformation process that's taking place with Sarkisian. I've heard people question, he's not the guy. Maybe he's not the guy. Maybe Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, the system doesn't work. Well, here's what I have to say to that. Whether you believe, it's just in me, it's just an opinion. That's all it is. What we have here with the Texas football program, and that is residuals left over. Residual systemic issues within this Texas football program, because how else do you explain it? How else do you explain it for as long as the Texas football program has been mediocre at best since 2010? There was something brewing toward the end of right after Texas played for the national title, and those same issues have been going on, and now we're with Mac, Charlie Strong, Tom Herman, and now Sarkisian. So how do you explain that? Well, it's not lowering your expectations as a fan. It's realizing there's things going on within that program, instability. So the entitlement really is part of the problem. That's just one little element. But you've got CDC as the AD. You've got a great president, and you have what I believe is a good head coach. So it's not going to change overnight. It really isn't. And is the sky falling for the Longhorns? Probably not. It's just this season is what they call a true rebuilding, and finding out which players who are returning next year or 2 or 3 years, finding out if those are the guy who are a right fit for the program. Now, you've probably seen it. You probably heard about it. I'm about to play for you. Somebody posted this video on Twitter. It had to have been one of the players, leaked out a video from one of the Texas football coaching assistants. I'm thinking it's Bo Davis, defensive line coach. That guy's a winner. I'll let you listen to this if you haven't seen it or watch it, and you tell me, or you just tweet me what you think about it. I've been so busy the last day and a half that I'm just now getting around to it. But I'll just say this. I love this. This was on the bus, and I'm assuming it's on the defensive players bus after the domination by Iowa State last Saturday night.
Real! Some of you motherfuckers need to get in the transfer portal. You want to go? Get in the motherfucker! This shit ain't a game to me. And if you think it's a game, get the fuck off of this bus. I got my ass kicked. And you motherfuckers want to laugh? This shit's fucking real. You think it's a goddamn joke? And some of you motherfuckers do transfer out of this motherfucker. Cause I'm tired of this shit. This shit's goddamn real. we want to laugh and joke, fuck that.
I love it. And you want to know why I love that? Well, first, I'm disappointed that it's not a player or a group of players policing the team and holding the expectations, setting the standard. Of course, we don't know that. We don't know if the players haven't stepped up, but it's pretty bad that first off, the player who shot that video, I would venture to safe to say you gone. That's pretty weak. And for those of you who are offended by that, I apologize, but I don't, because that's the dynamics of a team. Football, any sport, the frustration's mounting. And I'm sure the coaches are getting fed up with it, especially for a group of players where losing doesn't bother them. So I'm assuming there was some joking on the bus, the loss not affecting them and just moving on like it's nothing. Well, when you create a standard and you build a foundation and you're changing the culture, this type of losing the Longhorns have experienced, that's not fun. That's the same thing applies in life. You get tired of it and you figure out a way to be successful in some form or fashion to right the ship, so to speak. So if that is Bo Davis, who in fact was the one just going off on that bus, I applaud you. I applaud him for busting out on those guys and keeping it real, because in my opinion, there's not enough dogs on this Texas football team. If they are, they're young and they're developing and they're not too sure if their role as a leader. But that's I like that, man. I completely, if that's Bo or whoever that is, the coach, 100% behind that. That needed to happen. And the transfer portal should be pretty busy in the off season. And I hope it is, because you need to get the right players into this program, and the ones where winning means everything and losing hurts each week the way it has for Texas. Of course, Texas they've got to win 2 out of their next 3 games to even go to a bowl game, sitting at 4-5 right now. That loss to Iowa State, to me, felt like it was much worse than the loss in Fayetteville, Arkansas. As far as players entering the transfer portal from Texas, of course, you have Joshua Moore, the receiver, has already announced his plans. He's no longer a Longhorn. He has entered the transfer portal. But as far as that, the transfer portal and players not buying into Sark and his staff's way, well, this is what running back Roschon Johnson, who I have heard is perhaps one of the lone dogs on this team, true leader that's not afraid to get into people's faces. This is what he had to say when asked about, are there players still not on board?
It's not really a matter of worrying about guys not buying in. It's just instilling the culture of what buying in is. So when you see certain stuff pointed out, and making sure that the team is going about things the right way. So at the end of the day, if people aren't with that, then that's on them. But they shouldn't be the ones out there playing. But at the end of it, if they, buy in and adjust to the culture, then we'll be just good.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Roschon was being up front, but I felt like he was holding back. I think he knows which of his teammates are buying in. He's doing the right thing. He's not going to go to the media and speak his mind like that. But I can tell there's some frustration there, and he's pretty smart guy. He represents the team well, but I'll stand by it. I think Roschon's one of the few dogs on that team, a true leader. And that's one of the guys that's going to carry Texas to a true wins and get this team right, so to speak. As we transition to other, I guess, news, it's kind of old, but Jeff Traylor, the football coach at UT San Antonio, man, what an amazing job he's done down the road. Got himself a 10-year extension, $28 million, $2.8 million per year. They are 9-0 on the year, number 16 in the country. Amazing. That's the best football program in the UT system. UTSA, fun to watch, the running back quarterback combination. But yeah, obviously he was on the staff of Charlie Strong. Charlie Taylor's the head coach at Pflugerville Scar. Jeff Traylor was a extremely successful coach on the Texas high school level at Gilmer. His hometown developed them from an average at best program to a state champion multiple times. In fact, has the stadium there and Gilmer named after him. And he's one of the Texas good old boys, deeply rooted to East Texas, deeply rooted to the Texas High School Coaches Association. So he's one of those guys that if you want your program turned around, he knows how to relate and speak to the kids. In fact, he told me about that extension that he received at UT San Antonio. He said, man, I just love these kids that much, and I love this program. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm doing it for the kids, period. That's it. And that's what it's all about. And I think if you go back and look at it, what Texas Tech just did, they dipped into the former Texas High School Coaches Association, if you will, the Texas High School Coaches Association members. Joey McGuire turned Cedar Hill into a state power in the early part of the 2000s for 13 years, state champions, consistent state power. And he had been an assistant at Baylor the last couple of years. And this is so Texas Tech hired him. And this is when he stood up on his introductory press conference up in Lubbock. And you feel the energy the guy has. And I'm pretty sure he is the right guy for the job.
Man, I've been waiting all my life to do
that. I love it, man. I love it. Love it that much. That is awesome, man. Joey McGuire, big part of the reason why Baylor has turned their program around twice. And he is a high energy guy and is a great recruiter, and he will do well at Texas Tech. May take a few years to get it done, but he will. And he even mentioned, he says, why not Texas Tech play in the Big 12 championship game? Hey, coming up, guys, at some point this week, the 100th true episode, where we have first segment, 2 segments, the 100th episode of Stories Inside the Man Cave. Man, it is a big anniversary celebration for us, and I cannot wait. Trying to get the OG guys all together, that being Big Mike, Coach Mo, and Hardball Hards. Man, they're special because they helped me put this together, and they will always be special to me as we are about to reach the century mark. So for those Man Cave guys, the OGs, as I like to say it, we out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.